A second. Oh, there's lag.
Welcome to segment 6. And this evening, our guest is Paul Kopus, retired Will County Sheriff. And I want to talk just a little bit. We touched on it during the show, but this whole concept of militarization of law enforcement has got a lot of people spooked. You got small towns getting MRAPs. People are talking about there's a conspiracy where they're going to make the sheriff's departments go around and collect everybody's guns. You were sheriff for 12 years.
As far as the militarization, some of it started to occur. I remember we got involved in the program back in 1990. But to even go further than that, 1985 is when I was able to start the SWAT team with my training from that. And why? Because it was a 4-day standoff. And every lieutenant that came in the next 8 hours changed it up. And then after 24 hours, that lieutenant was back and goes, "Why are you doing it this way? I told you to do it." They were screwed up. They were really screwed up.
So it gave you continuity.
We had continuity. We had no equipment. I remember they gave a female deputy an Uzi. So she goes, "How do you turn this on?"
Wow.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
And we only had 2. So when they started this program, what we basically were getting back then was leftover utilities, canteens, cartridge belts, none of the bigger stuff, because at that time there wasn't really per se a war going on where they had surplus. You know, now I've been over it for quite some time and all that other stuff. So some of this equipment is badly needed by the departments because they have nothing. And then the scenario for using on high-risk barricaded subjects or high-risk warrants, I did a paper on it for Staff and Command School at Northwestern. You needed vehicles. Well, they were trying to take old armored cars, and I don't know if you noticed, but 1/2 of your armored cars you see on the street, they're not armored. No, they look like it.
Seriously.
Seriously.
Is that right?
Yeah. So brakes, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay, guys, we have a new occupation coming up.
Yeah. So they need something for rescue, and they didn't have nothing before. And then when people were, being shot out in the open, parking lots or whatever it is, they had nothing to protect them. So then they started getting these vehicles. Now the Sheriff's Department, Will County, we have those vehicles, but we got them with grants, so they're not Army or military surplus, but they look like they're military.
Yeah, they're police specific.
And we have it written on it, rescue vehicle, not assault vehicle.
Right.
Now, it can be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got all the, it's got a battering ram 20 feet that can take down a wall and at 4 miles an hour. That's how heavy that truck is. Or punch a hole and put gas in, like you saw that they accused Waco. And that happened down there. But they need some of that equipment. Now,
I heard that they had a suspect the other day and they just drove it up there. They drove the bear there and the guy looked out and saw it and gave up just seeing it.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do anything.
In my day with the high-risk warrants, you approach the place, you got all the teams, everybody's in stacks, ready to go, and either bam the ram and or explosive entry. This thing now, you just hit the horn. And if you don't, you take the wall down.
Right.
I mean, it's great. It's great. But some of that is needed. I mean, then we started getting weapons from the military with this program. Because, as you know, after a while, I mean, the cops were outgunned.
Yeah.
The bank robbery in California. All them guys had heavy stuff, and what the police had.
Yeah.
Pistols.
Yeah, they had mini 14s, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they went to the local gun shop.
The local gun store started giving them the ARs and everything else.
Yeah.
So we were outgunned. I mean, that's even before that when they were shooting semis and they only let us carry revolvers until we went to the semi stove. So then the military, after the first war in Iraq, they were giving us their M4s with the knowledge that in a blink of an eye they could take them back.
Yeah.
So we want to get involved in it. So I said, yeah, because we had a lot of deputies on the street, and the only ones that carrying full auto or any kind of armament were SOG guys, SWAT guys. They carried their stuff in the squad. So we got the M4s, but I had them take rock and roll off. Yeah.
Right.
Semi-auto, That's it.
That's the fun part.
I understand,
Sport.
but I saw rock and roll now. Waste the ammunition and you can shoot up a whole lot of area. I didn't need that.
And you know what? That's really true. We talk about this in class all the time. People think it's a big panacea. The fact is, the only thing it's good for is suppressing fire. You scare the snot out of somebody,
Yeah.
they duck their head, and somebody runs and takes.
When they
another
went to the
position.
3-round burst, that was the best.
Yeah,
thing.
that was okay.
Because at least with a 3-round burst, you can at least get
Some controllability to it.
2 rounds in the center.
But you know, the rules of war and civilian, engagement with the public is completely different. I mean, it's
Yeah,
it's a whole
no,
other
and not my
ballgame.
opinion,
And-
not my opinion anymore, really. The rules of engagement have changed as far as I'm concerned, and I don't want to quote Sean Connery from the Untouchables, but I'm here to tell you, you shoot once, we're shooting back a couple times.
Yeah,
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it.
Well, I just mean as far as you have to be accountable for every round and where it goes. And
Oh, absolutely. That
And-
kind of thing has
and
changed. Yeah.
I'm not talking about taking out bad people. I'm talking about taking out good people.
Mhm.
I
Well,
think,
things change like even with speed chases now. I mean,
Right.
yeah, you have to call it in before you.
Right.
Well, yeah, but
And some
9
departments
times
don't
out of
allow
10,
it
they're
at
going to
all.
call it off.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of departments don't allow it at all.
Honestly, in terms of the equipment, I would much rather see them going to police forces than being destroyed. I'd rather see our tax dollars being used, whether they're just driving it up to a house than
But
being
here's the problem,
destroyed.
and then this is the problem. And how this whole concept, I think, militarization of law enforcement came about. Under the Second Amendment, the concept behind the Second Amendment was King George, was a tyrannical thing. And so the patriots wanted to be armed as well as the government. So that thread has really carried through in this country, unlike any other country in the world. And so the concern that you hear people talking about is, okay, I get that it's an advantage for a cop to be able to have that. But wait a minute, they keep trying to take it away from me, but they're giving the government more and more.
Right.
And under this regime, you see where that's going.
No, I understand.
20 years ago, no one would have batted an eyelash. Today, it's like, well, wait.
No, this could be a movie now.
Exactly.
HBO special.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And have the feds, of course, you wouldn't tell me anyway, you'd have to kill me. But I mean, has feds ever said to you anything like that?
No, I mean, and I did extensive work with FBI, like I've told you before. I mean, undercover stuff, operations that took 1 or 2 years, Title IIIs they call them, DEA and ATF. And ATF always look for the,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But the guys that I worked with, I got to know, so I didn't consider them a threat. There were some discussions among us, like, oh yeah, well, you're gonna come in here and make us do this, that, and that. And no, there was no threat. There was no, we might be in town. I mean, I let it be known to them that, as sheriff, I was not gonna put up with it. But there was no discussion. I never had anybody come in, nothing at all.
Because as sheriff, a lot of people don't know it. You're the highest elected official
Yes.
in a
In the
county.
county.
That's what a sheriff is.
Right.
And not that you were crooked, but if you were going to arrest a sheriff, who does
Coroner.
that? And people don't know that.
Coroner.
The coroner.
Only the
Who the heck is the coroner? Well, how can he arrest a sheriff?
He can only even carry guns. I don't know how he's gonna do
Exactly.
Well, some of them do though. Some of them carry guns.
it. Yeah, but not this one.
But
Well,
now, I know you're a member of Oath Keepers, and I don't know that a lot of people know what Oath Keepers is. Oath Keepers is an organization, you join, it's a voluntary organization, and it's for people who've taken the oath of office. Military, law enforcement, a number of public
I think
officials,
even firefighters.
firefighters, anybody who's taken the oath. And what the premise behind Oath Keepers is that you're saying, I will not, in my official capacity, follow any order that goes against the Constitution of the United States. And what we're seeing are people, particularly on the southern border, with a guy in El Paso, the sheriff in El Paso, who says, come on across. ISIS, come on across.
Yeah.
We're going to kill you.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're seeing like this, what's the Jade Helm thing going on? We've had sheriffs down there who go, I'm keeping an eye on these guys. Not being complicit at all.
No,
I'm
no.
keeping an eye on these
No,
guys. I don't
I
know
mean-
what's going on here.
But to give you one example, I twice as sheriff, once as lieutenant. Had to deal with the Posse Comitatus
Oh,
down
yeah,
in the
yeah.
southern part of the county.
Yeah,
Now, the FBI was going down there to do something, or they wanted to see something. I don't remember what it was. And the smart guy on the FBI came to the sheriff's office and said, "We would like you to go down there with us." Were you afraid? No. But they have a little bit more tolerance and respect for a deputy.
sure. You belong to the
Because
county.
the boss has been elected by the
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And so the first time I went down there with them, and I don't recall what the incident was. It wasn't like they were doing a search warrant or anything. And they wanted to interview some people. And when I went down there, they would do nothing but talk to me, not the Phoebes,
Yeah.
as we call them. And as soon as it got smoothed over, they did get interviewed. Had I not gone down there with them,
We've been Bundy Ranch all over again.
them boys,
Yeah.
they don't like federal government.
No, there's a lot of similarities in southern Will County to other parts of the country. in
And
the
this is
south.
going even in the South Wilmington area.
Yeah,
So was that Grundy?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, them boys don't like federal government. Mhm. So, I mean, I had to deal a couple times over some issues with them with sheriff in reference to eviction.
They take that stuff seriously.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
And we got along well. You know, just,
Well, and here's the other thing that I really noted, because I did for 20 years. Some deputies, and I don't mean to be disparaging, but some deputies get out of the car looking for a fight. And they find
they
it,
come out with an answer.
and they find it. And other deputies get out of the car, and then not just deputies, cops. And other get out of the car and they go, "We got a problem here that's got to be resolved." And a lot of times, just the way you get out of your car makes a big difference in how people will treat you.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said earlier. You know, you had to learn to talk to people.
Exactly.
Because in my day, you were out there with nothing. And hopefully you were talking nice to civilians that called the station, said you might want to send some help over here. Your deputy's getting his ass kicked.
And I remember the old radio system in Will County where there were whole chunks of property you were on your own.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I
was
mean, the
nothing.
radio systems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we solved anything, did we?
Oh, we'll never solve anything.
Well,
But
I think we clarified some things about the,
Yeah.
the military equipment.
I didn't know about the coroner. That's interesting.
Yeah, you know.
yeah,
Well, the sheriff, we
Yeah.
a quick history lesson. It comes from England. And over there, they don't have counties, they have shires.
Mhm.
And their tax collectors were called reefs. Now, if you remember Robin Hood,
Mhm.
sheriff of Nottingham, he was a crooked guy. But anyway, Nottingham was a shire. So they used to call them guys shire reefs.
Uh,
And then as
That's
time went on, like language gets mutated, it went to sheriff. And because they had it as their constitution in England, when they came over here, they put it in the constitution here as the top law enforcement, elected by the people, and la, la,
and they
la.
collected taxes.
They did in England.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they collected taxes.
Now, there's been a push in New England area, and I guess it's happening, where they're eliminating the elected sheriff and they're making them a point. Now, you're going right back to
Who's going to appoint him?
political bullshit.
The governor appoint him?
The counties.
yeah, the county board.
I don't know that I want the top cop in my county being a political appointee.
Now, elected by the people, that's what it's for.
Exactly.
Now, to be the state's attorney, you gotta be a lawyer. To be a coroner, you gotta be an undertaker.
Yeah.
To be the treasurer, you gotta be CPA. To be the sheriff,
You got to breathe.
you gotta breathe.
People assume that you have to be a cop.
No.
There's nothing. If it wasn't a cop, that would. I
No,
don't think
not in
so.
Will County.
I mean, basically,
The
they
last
are.
one in Cook, it was the lawyer.
But
Well,
technically,
when I
you
was
don't
in
have.
sheriff's school, after you get elected, you gotta go to sheriff's school.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. There was a guy down there that was a gas station owner. Did his campaigning at the pump, and he won.
What
So
more
now
could you ask for?
they had to tutor him real quick about civil process, summons, subpoenas, all that kind
And
of
how to
stuff.
spell sheriff.
Yeah, yeah,
I actually said
yeah,
that,
one
though.
R, two F's.
I said maybe that's what I should do next, because we probably never had a female sheriff. in
Oh, we
Will
haven't.
County.
Yeah.
That would be-
No, we haven't, because
would
I've
be
got a
novel.
list of every sheriff from 1836 up to now. I do. I have the list. And
there's
no
never
female.
been a woman sheriff, and there certainly hasn't been in Chicago. In Cook County.
And I don't recall my 12 years seeing any at sheriff's conferences either for a long time.
Somebody made a very interesting observation the other day, which isn't exactly what we're talking about, but I forget who it was. I forget everything. She remembers. Democrats run on diversity, right? Look who's running for president.
I pointed that out.
It was you.
Yeah.
That's right.
It was
And then
me.
look who's running on the Republican ticket. Republicans are the ones that don't believe in diversity. Do we even have a white guy running on the ticket? Yeah, we do
We
now.
have a few.
It's, you have an old white woman, an old white dude, and a middle-aged white guy on the Democratic side. We have Bobby Jindal, we have Rubio, Cruz, Trump doesn't count, Carly Fiorina, like, keep going.
Oh, yeah.
And we're the
Well,
part
who's the
that
guy?
last-
Ben
What's his
Carson.
name? The oldest, yeah, Ben Carson.
He'll be over here next week.
But the funny thing is they're all young. There's really the oldest one there is either Bush or
Ben Carson is
Probably
old.
Ben
Clinton.
Carson.
It's, or not Clinton. Bush might as well be Clinton. It's Ben Carson, who's really not.
Mike Huckabee's probably over 60.
Oh, is he really? He doesn't look that
Yeah.
old.
But
I
the
think.
the bulk
Yeah,
of the,
Huckleberry. I'm thinking Wyatt Earp.
There you go.
He's the oldest guy. Yeah.
but the bulk of the candidates are young. Like that's the thing
Yeah.
is it's
We have more diversity by far than Democrats.
I don't understand it. I mean, yeah, how many times can you get kicked in the groin over 30, 40 years and not wake up? What have they done? They've done nothing for it.
And so we had Reverend Dr. Eric Walsh on last week, who was a good friend of ours. And, we're going, black people should be Republicans. They have more in common with the Republican Party in morals and values than they do with the Democratic Party.
Mhm.
And yet,
social media and
Right.
media in general is talking that
You
being
cannot-
on the right spectrum is evil.
it
You're
is.
wrong.
It's
You're
bizarre.
going
So
against
The
your own.
D's, in my opinion, have enslaved.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we
Abs-
actually talked
say it all
about
the
that.
time.
It
We
was
say that
corporate
again and again.
slavery,
Sure.
or not corporate. It was
Government.
government.
It's government,
slavery.
yeah.
They've enslaved.
And they don't see it. That's now a lot of black people do. I mean, they get it, and they're in there preaching it all the time, going, "You don't understand. Taking that free phone, you're giving up your life. You're giving up your dignity with that crap." But I don't know. Anyway, we've gone. I don't know how long we've gone. Probably
Too long.
8 to 10 hours. I don't know. So that was this week's segment 6, and we'd like to thank Paul Kopis for being with us. And next week we'll do something really cool, but we don't know what it is.
Actually, we do, but it's a
We'll
secret.
start Gretchen's campaign.
There you go.